Kelly spraying through the Benjis, nigga.
Me and the Mosai, me and the Mosai, me and the Mosai, yeah, me and the Mosai, me and the Mosai, me and the Mosai, me and the Mosai, yeah, me and the Mosai. I'm so low, my walk on that road is me and the Mosai. Keep you from us, just a little laughing. Spread the gospel through the hood, doing it through rapping. Feel just like me and God trapping souls, bringing the truth to the people, telling what they never been told. You sitting on gifts you were giving and doing nothing with them. I swear that you niggas are bold. It's best that you know. I know that some of you think that I'm playing with completion. I'm not. I'm ready to drop. Been whipping the work in the studio, serving it out to the block. Tried it in life on my own and I found that it's not what I thought. A place to a higher, but Hashem, you shy of my soul, not for sale, it was already booked. I'm ready for y'all to stop trying to stop easy, trying to say he's wicked when really he not. It's really a plot, but you the two hate you in the dark to try to come take what you got. Woo, listen, the truth hit hard, harder than a gamble. Better be known as a saint, then your favorite rapper, Michael Jackson band. No melodrama, random, but it's still just me and the Mosai, me and the Mosai, me and the Mosai, yeah, me and the Mosai, yeah, me and the Mosai, me and the Mosai, me and the Mosai, yeah, me and the Mosai, me and the Mosai. I'm so low, my walk on this road is me and the Mosai. I'm so low, my walk on this road is me and the Mosai. Me and the Mosai, me and the Mosai, yeah, me and the Mosai, yeah, me and the Mosai, me and the Mosai, me and the Mosai, me and the Mosai, me and the Mosai.
Solo, rolling 4D, we're rocking y'all shit in my OG. I feel
Shalom, 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 y'all. I'm Michael Israel. You watching Spiritual Combat. And as you can see, we have a guest I've been for a long time wanting to come on the show. It's our brother from Straitway, KC, Pastor Corey. And this is going to be an awesome show because me and Pastor Corey, we got a lot to bring out and talk to y'all about. It's definitely going to be a good show. Pastor Corey, go ahead and unmute your mic if you could. And shalom,
yes, sir.
Shalom, Pastor Corey. Awesome to have you on the show. Shalom, brother.
Shalom, shalom.
So yeah, man. The first thing I want to do, the first thing I need to do is congratulations to you and your wife on your newborn. If you could, just say shalom to everybody and talk a little bit about how the birth went and everything, if you could.
Absolutely, brother Michael Israel. Birth, it was a trying process, to be honest, with you, because out of all 7 of these these births, it just seemed like she had a lot of different things going on, and so we just really pushed forward spiritually on making sure that we didn't allow anything to enter into our minds or anything to anybody around us to operate in any disbelief. And the great thing about it, brother Mike, is this: Sister Gabby was in so much pain, and she had been on bed rest for the last probably 2 or 2.5 weeks or so. And she just was having some really bad pain in her hips and lower back. And so we got to a point, man, where it seemed like she wasn't going to be able to, really have any strength to push. And we just prayed. And I just asked the Most High, y'all, you've been carrying us this long way that you've carried us. And I'm just asking you right now, if you could just deliver this young seed right now, this would be, my request to you as your son, your servant. And man, I watched him just boom. We didn't even know the baby was out so fast. So, yes, sir.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And like I said, I forget who the brother was, but there was another brother. He was giving a testimony in another group about how he called you and you prayed with him. He had a similar situation. I think he was waiting on the placenta to come out or something, and he called you and you prayed with him, and lo and behold, it came out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what I'm saying. I know y'all's hearing, so that's I'm expecting the same exact thing, brother.
All praises. So, Pastor Corey, for those of my viewers and people watching on YouTube and Facebook who might not know exactly who you are, just go ahead and tell them a little about who you are, your ministry, and then after that, we're gonna get into kind of your background, how you kind of your testimony. But if you could just tell them a little about who you are and the ministry and everything.
Yes, sir. Well, I am, of course, you see it on the screen, Pastor Corey, and I've been with Straitway Ministry since about early 2011, and we came a part of this ministry, just looking at some of the similar things that Pastor Dow was preaching, in terms of just, he didn't just preach a, come to Jesus message. He was preaching, words of life, saying if you got any conscience, you're seeing that things are happening and going on right now. And it takes those who are aware and awake to really gravitate towards words, as such. And so that's how we ended up here. And it's been a really, really a great experience for us being here, because we only here for one thing, and that's to enter into the kingdom. And so, it's just been a really powerful experience. Everything I've had here it's just been a spiritual experience, from being ordained as a pastor to coming in and laying hands on different people and seeing the hand of the Most High Yah, work, even so much so, even when Pastor Dow and Elder Rufus first came to Kansas City, laying on the hands was going on then. And so, I knew we was on to something because we saw it there, it was going on here. And the Most High Yah was kind of just leading me in doing that. And so that's kind of what my service to Israel has been since I've been here with the Straitway Ministries. And it's just, I love seeing people light up, when Yah touch their lives and they can really identify with what's written in the book.
Right. So, Pastor Corey, you grew up in St. Louis. Talk a little bit about that, how you came up.
Oh, man. Yeah, St. Louis. I was just thinking the other day, Brother Mike, about my whole experience with, because it's truly one that has allowed me to buy in to being faithful to the Most High Yah. I was just telling one of the saints the other day, man, I was in a lot of trouble. And, I had a lot of things going on. I grew up in North St. Louis. It was 7 of us, same makeup as my house, 6 boys and 1 girl. And, early on, my older siblings, my mom, she was there for a better part of the time in our lives, she was the only parent in the house, and we've along the way had several different quote unquote step dads, or somebody coming in, stepping in, acting, or whatever the case may be. But we virtually raised ourselves. We grew up in a gang infested, dope selling infested neighborhood, man. Everybody I had, every friend that I had, sold some type of something. Everybody I knew was into, guns and just living that inner city lifestyle. St. Louis, North St. Louis for a long time contributed in the country to, some of the highest murder rates that were ever around, especially in the early 90s. That was a rough time for us. Brother Vess, that's in the ministry, that's my older brother, one of my older brothers. And, he'll tell you, I've always talked about, his testimony even before he came into the ministry on how he was shot. I remember some of the guys we knew coming to get me, and I go down, I see Brother Vess laying down in a puddle of blood. It just was amazing that Yah brought us through all of those storms to come to this point where, I'm meeting brothers like Brother Yaki and, Brother Malachi Maccabee. Even there's a guy that's in their ministry down in St. Louis that he grew up with me. He was telling, those guys some of the things what we experienced in North St. Louis. So I'm blessed, Brother Mike, needless to say.
All right. If you could talk about how you came into the truth, and then soon after, you became a part of Straitway.
Got you. Well, long story short, I want to say, and I'll just put it like this, man. When I say I was in a lot of trouble, I had so many things going on. In fact, 2007 is when my oldest boy, Gabby was pregnant with him, and he was born in 2007. And, around that time, when I first met Gabby, she was more so a Bible reader. Her dad, kept her involved in learning about Christ and those types of things. And me, my upbringing was kind of away from that, as far as, when we got from up under our mom's house. And, the main thing that I take from this and that I'm going to share with you all today is that, seeing how, early on when I started to get serious about, reading the Bible, I had some significant spiritual things set before me where I had to begin to pay attention to it, pertaining to being a pastor, pertaining to having my mind open up to understand the word of the Most High Yah. And the biggest thing that I want to say in 2007, I believe, was when the Most High Yah began to give me understanding on Shem, Ham, and Yafet. And I didn't know why I was coming into that knowledge. I didn't know why it seemed like we was gravitating towards the Old Testament. But, it seemed like that was becoming interesting. But I never really took it serious because I just didn't see it happening. And so it was years later, in about 2009, when we just really was going through a lot. I think, let me see, around 2009, we really was hitting it. I mean, it just took off in terms of the storm that we was going in. And so it came around then that the Most High was showing us that we was going, wanted to begin to use us, but we didn't really understand. I think we were having just inviting people over, going over New World Order, the fall of society. We would have, different students come over, buy a pizza or whatever, try to feed them on Saturdays, at our place. And, we did a lot, to try to do what we could, but it was things the Most High was leading us to begin to pay attention to. I just didn't do it. And it wasn't until this moment, Brother Mike, where we were in our place, and all of a sudden we were getting ready to go out of town to New Orleans, and all of a sudden our car wasn't working. Our phones got cut off. We didn't have any money in our account. Missouri Gas and Energy came and they cut it off, and then Power and Light was getting ready to cut off, but they didn't cut it off. But that was that defining moment. Because of this, Mike, nobody could get in touch with us. Nobody knew where we were. And it seemed like, man, we had just enough food left over, Brother Mike, to last us until the Sabbath came in. And we didn't know it was the Sabbath, but the thing about it is, and I'll speed it up because I just want you to understand how intricate this is for us, for me, coming into the way. So we had, Sister Abigail, or, some of y'all know her, Sister Jalan and Brother Chris, they came over. You said, they, we knew them before the way. They knocked and came and said, hey, we brought some food because we couldn't get in touch with you all. We didn't know what was going on. And then so the next week it happened again. We ended up coming down to our last, part of the meals on that next Saturday, not knowing that, again, then here it is, we get another knock on the door, and again, they brought food. And so at that point, Mike, I was pretty fired up, man. I was mad because of this reason right here. We had started going to a church called World Revival here in Kansas City. Mm-hmm. And we would go 4 nights a week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And you paying tithes and offering. This is one of the first times in my life where I was serious about, going to church and those types of things. And, we were trying to, just make sure we get ourselves deeply involved in what it means to be a part of Christ. And so, let alone, in that time frame, it was like we couldn't, it just things wouldn't go right. And so I was asking myself in that moment, like, why are we sitting here? It's like my business is shut down. We were just doing good weeks ago, even the week before. Everything was just happened all of a sudden. It's out of nowhere, no money in the account. So I'm praying and asking, like, why in the world are we experiencing this? Like, what is going on? And so I got down, Brother Mike, and I prayed. I said, Father, I said, in the name of Jesus, I said, I don't know what in the world, this is about. I said, we pay tithes, we go to church 4 nights a week, and I don't get it. If it's something that we need to do, something that I'm not doing in my life, I promise you, if you show me whatever that is, I'm going to do it. And I said, in the name of Jesus, amen. As soon as I said that, and I got up off the floor praying, because this was in the morning, my Isha said, baby, come here. And so I goes to the back room, and she said, look, we got to start keeping the Sabbath. She showed me in Exodus. I said, keeping the Sabbath. So I read in the book, and I saw, 2 things, forever, you know what I mean? And perpetual, you know what I mean? And I'm like, but that's kind of like, that's something that don't stop.
Right. And
so I'm like, and I'm reading it again. And I'm like, well, what is the Sabbath?
Right.
So we start finding out and studying, and we found out it was the 7th day and it was a day of rest. Mm-hmm. So, we confused, but we like, you know what? Because I'm a person, once I see something that's wrote in the book and I get to understand, I'm doing it. I ain't no question about it.
Right.
So from that point on, we started trying to observe the Sabbath. We started trying to do the best we can, and let alone, people started coming to the house because we started telling people that this is what we were doing. This is what we believe that you should do is rest in the 7th day, because it wrote right here in the book. And so that led to us, searching. I remember telling Sister Gabby, I said, get on the internet and see if you can find something, about the Sabbath, because I was still coaching and doing things. But once we found that out, we quit going to church. Not too long after that, and then I just quit doing everything. I quit training, personal training. I quit doing everything that I was doing on the Sabbath. I quit doing it. And so then Gabby found this guy on the internet with this series, talking about the Sabbath. And, he was talking some pretty strong words about Christians and observing the Sabbath. And so I'm not a bandwagon person, because I do my own thing, And plus, we had just got into it with a guy that was at World Revival that was, he robbed so many people of just money and just a lot of different things he did. And that also played a part in why it was easy for us to leave that church, because, here it is. This guy was one of the pastors in the church. We went into business with him, in fitness business, and he just absolutely just did us backwards, man. And that was one of the reasons how we ended up homeless, because I put a lot of my retirement into that, and so come to find out he was wrong. And we tried to bring it to the pastors, they didn't say nothing about it, just pray, go home and pray. And here it is, I'm bringing it to them. You got alt with a brother and he don't hear you, then bring a witness. And so they it just was jacked up, brother. They they didn't do nothing about it.
Right.
So there you have it with that. And so then this person that we listened to was Pastor Dow, So I followed the series all the way through. She ended up telling me it was, it was good, and what she saw from it. I said, well, I'm gonna check it out myself, because I want to make sure that we can't mess with no more people, because I can't promise you nothing on how I'm gonna take it. Seeing that I'm trying to do right. This is the first time in my life I'm trying to do right, and here it is. As soon as I try to do right, then now I'm getting the biggest scams and just the biggest lies told to me, because really this place is just it's filled with a lot of deceit.
Right.
And so when I listened to Pastor Dow's series, everything he said was in the book. So that was what got my attention.
Right.
So from there, I started digging in, found out he had a YouTube. I started listening to videos. And by this time, we had already started finding other things. I was just listening. So, of course, if you type in Sabbath on the internet, you're going to find GOCC. You're going to find IUIC. You're going to find, Israel of God, and so on and so on and so on. And so I looked at a lot of IUIC videos, but it never drew me in spiritually. I was never drawn into nothing at all, and Holy Spirit wise, the Most High Yah really always had his hand on me from a spiritual standpoint. Right. So, I'm not here to talk about them. I'm just saying everywhere I go, the Spirit has been manifested. Right. In a way where we know it ain't of men, that work is of Yah. So that's what it was when we came to Straitway. Mm-hmm. We saw the works of Elohim there. And so from that point on, man, I just was sold on it, brother. And by the time my third visit to Straitway, I was being ordained as a pastor. And from my understanding, that pastor hadn't ordained anybody to be another pastor in 17 years or so.
And you from St. Louis, so you had mentioned the brother from Yaqui and Maccabee, and talk about that a little bit.
I really didn't know those brothers, except how I came across Brother Yaqui. was because we had a sister here that, you know, we try to make sure we keep the accountability and the check-in process pretty high. So, you know, don't just, you know, now, unless you just hard-headed and rebellious and stiff-necked, then you go out there and do your own thing. And when you do, just like a lot of people here have done, and then guess what? I don't have nothing to do with it. You stay in the mess that you make because you didn't follow wise counsel. You didn't abide in the gift that the Most High Yah said he would give to men.
Right.
And so, you know, she checked in, and so she said she was getting ready to take some herbs and different things that he was gonna, you know, recommend for her to take. And so I told her, show me who this guy is, show me where he at, you know. So I want to make sure I talk to him. So she ended up taking the herbs. She ended up getting healed, and then me and Brother Yaqui just had a brief conversation on the phone about, you know, the things that, you know, he do, you know, and he shared with me his testimony about being, you know, locked up. You know, while he was locked up, man, it's just like the Most High Yah opened his mind up and opened him up to this gift of, you know, understanding herbs and being able to continue the healing through the herbs of the field, you know, and it was right off, you know, that I knew that, you know, somewhere down the line that, you know, this brother was going to end up probably coming across the ministry, you know, and it happened that way, because I didn't even really, you know, get a chance to talk to him too much more so than, you know, I let Pastor Dow and the elders know. Matter of fact, we was in Green Bay for Brother Kabir's wedding when I was, you know, passing his information around just for people to check out and kind of see what they thought about this brother. And man, it just been beautiful since. And we had a chance to come to Kansas City one time, you know, to just visit. And I had a chance to, you know, talk with him, and we was talking and sharing testimonies. And Brother Yaqui asked for prayer. And so, you know, me and Sister Gabby was at the gym that time when I met him, and ended up laying hands on him and praying for him. Brother, it was a powerful deal. And so, you know, I end up being in St. Louis to meet Brother Malachi Maccabee, and same deal, man. We prayed. It was powerful, man. Just a powerful, powerful experience. And you know, them two brothers, when you see them, let them tell you the testimony. Right. You know, I'm gonna let them sing the praises of the Most High.
Yeah,
sir.
I'm be getting them on here at some point. I know they busy. But if you could, because one of the things, like I've been in this thing, you know, a little over 10 years, and I've had a slightly different experience in the Hebrew community with the fact that I've either studied or been involved to some level with kind of across the board, basically the majority of what's out there in the Hebrew community, and met a lot of the people in the Hebrew community, from camps to congregational Hebrews to everything in between. And one of the things I noticed in the Hebrew Israelite awakening is like, while we know church or Christian doctrine it's off, it seemed like in the Hebrew community there's a lacking in the spiritual aspect of the book. Can you speak on that a little bit?
Absolutely, Brother Michael. It's simply this. You know, these people have not been converted at all. And I say that because, see, I look at the life-changing situation. If I don't meet Pastor Dow, if I don't meet nobody else, you know, I have an experience, several experiences with the Most High Yah, you know, and one being Sister Gabby was really, really sick, you know, and I remember she got down from 127 pounds down to about 89 pounds. And brother, You're talking about getting ready to lose my job because we were running to the emergency room sometimes twice a week. And definitely during the month, you can count on me being in the emergency room at least 3 to 4 plus times. And it was causing, I was a head football and head track coach. And I taught, school, man. And so, it was just becoming, I don't know if I'm going to make it anymore. I'm calling in constantly, about being in the hospital, taking care of her. And so I watched the day that she got healed. I watched it. I watched the miraculous power of the Most High Yah with my own eyes take place. And I've watched, things in my life, where the Most High Yah manifested things. And so one of the things when we first came into the truth, I was big on, they tricked us with this name Jesus, and this and that. But quickly, the Most High Yah, even long after I found out the true name, and I prayed countless hours, the Most High Yah still today, yesterday, weeks ago, many miracles. Not only have I seen it through Pastor Dow's hand, but my own hand. In the name of Jesus, I've seen miracles. I've seen things that right now, if I told all these viewers on here what I would say, if I would say this other testimony, you can't deny it. It's on you whether you want to believe it or not. But again, in Jesus' name. And so I watched just how much people are caught up in the flesh. So when I look at camps, when I look at people, when I look at what edifies a man, what edifies a walk, the walk of a saint, it's not about what people are doing to adorn themselves outwardly. It's not what people are doing to make sure they pronounce words and different things in a certain manner that's going to allow them to become holy. Because I'm looking, I was a vessel that the Most High used. Man, I'm from North St. Louis, Brother Mike. Now, that might not mean nothing to a lot of people, but I'm telling you, Brother Vester tell you, we grew up rough, brother. So I know, I can tell you the times happened when I had a 12 gauge pulled on my face, brother. Standing here face to face, right in front of my house. The Most High preserved me when my car slid on ice and stopped at the edge of the highway and didn't go down. It didn't go over down the hill on ice. The Most High preserved me, and guess what? What did He preserve me for? I'm doing it. I'm doing it right now. I'm proclaiming the real, true, good news that we have a Hamashiach, that if we would abide in Him and the deliverance that's promised in Isaiah, that He would set us free of all bondage and make us anew, that now we are eligible to enter into the reign of Shemaim, to enter into these promises that the Most High Yah have already promised to the descendants of Jacob, Abraham, Isaac. And so we got these things that we must be striving for. And so when we come across each other in the earth, there should be some type of manifestation. When people see you, they should be able to recognize, not because you say, that this is who you are, but because the works testify of who you are, just like they did of Yahshua.
That's good. That's good. That's good. And yeah, because like I said, I can testify that, being all over the Hebrew community, and even now, because I'm more focused down here, building Straitway, Florida down here and building with the Saints, I've gotten very focused on that and kind of backed off social media and all that. But I notice every time when I take a glance over there, it's just the same, biblical, is doctrinal knowledge, history stuff just being regurgitated the same way. But And it's like people, but like you said, there's no spiritual development. You don't really see people overcoming sin or getting healed or overcoming infirmities that have plagued them. It's just Bible knowledge, you know what I'm saying? But no action, you know? So, yeah, man. And go ahead.
I'm gonna say this, man. I remember, I was telling Pastor Dial about this early on. I remember here in Kansas City, they would try to bring all of these different Hebrew groups together. I done been in, several different meetings with Beit Mashiach and Israel of God, and we had folks from GOCC. At the time, I don't think we had nobody there from IUIC, but I don't know if you all know Ranford. But he was, I think he was his own individual camp or person or gathering at the time, and we had a few other people. And the issue, Mike, is that I would always sit and listen. I would sit and listen to everything. I rarely said much when we would take people out. And I'm looking. See, you got to look at the book for what it is. See, I want you to picture this. Mm-hmm. Israel is covered in iniquity and idolatry and whoredom and curses. So all the Brit Hadashah is the recovery from these things. And the good news was that here is the way to recover and to recover your descendants. And so I never heard that. We didn't talk that. It's like you said, it was doctrinal thing. We ready to go out and prove to white people. We ready to go out and prove to brown people. We ready to go prove to the niggas in the hood that we are these such people, that we ain't nothing. If any man think that he is something, he is nothing. So I didn't want to do, I ain't with that. Guess what? I promise you, if we usher in the move of the Holy Spirit right here, I promise you something gonna happen. I promise you, you're gonna see something that ain't never happened. I promise you, the Most High Yah is searching the earth, seeking after those who are seeking after them, seeking after him.
Right.
I promise you. And so if we doing it, if the Most High know that people are looking for him, guess what? He's mighty to show up and to show them that he is who he say he is, that he is the one that makes his name great in the earth, my brother. And so that's what I don't see. So just in that alone, see, I don't get into all of these battles with people, man, because, man, Brother Mike, I like I said, I do well just looking at people getting on my videos, commenting, and I done called several people, Mike, and you done commented on the video. I done sent you a comment. Where you at? Me and you need to talk on Facebook, brother. I had a brother, I called him 4 a.m. Bro, what you talking about? Because I mean, help me to understand. You getting on here leaving scriptures. Look, let's talk. I want to see your eyes, that you see mine. Right. And let's figure it out. Because I can't deal in this capacity with these folks, brother. I ain't gonna do it. So I know where the Most High Yah brought me from. I stay quiet because I know where I've come from. I thank the Most High Yah that got breath in my body to do what I'm doing right now. Right. Simple as that. Yes, sir.
That's good. That's good. So yeah, Corey, you definitely on point where it comes to the spiritual fitness, and that let's move forward and talk a little bit about the actual physical fitness. I know me and you, I watch, because sometimes, man, you put some of these videos on, you know the way I am, I got to hit you up and chop it up about some of the videos you put out. But you put out a good one recently just about the diet you were on. It is like kind of like a paleo vegetable type diet. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, basically, what we were looking at, considering that there are so many things that have affected the body, and really, this is it. I'm not a fad diet type of person. Even when I was going through my undergrad at the University of Central Missouri, I knew my biggest thing wasn't going to be following, fads, when it came to the fitness industry, because so many things come and go. And I've seen just with my own eyes how clients, you can put them on a fad diet, and then 2 to 3 months later, you can see them headed back in the same, direction, the same lifestyle. And so, for me, this is a lifestyle. For me and my family, what I wanted was to begin to expel myths. I wanted to tear down lies. I wanted to set myself free, because I believe in mind, body, spirits. I wanted to set myself free of even the things that I have done to my body long ago. And so what this cleanse that we were on allowed, us to put together things that we have researched along the way on how do you get rid of heavy metals out of the system? How do you get rid of parasites? How do you restore just normalized metabolic, energy structures in the body? How do you, be pain free? Because, that's a lot of it, being pain free. And most people, I would say, and I would venture to say 70 to 75% of all people have some type of pain in their body, and it's contributed to diet, it's contributed to toxins in the body, it's contributed to lack of exercise. And so in an all-encompassing way, Brother Mike, our plan was to get people to see not only can you lose weight from exercise, but you can lose weight if you start to normalize processes in the body. The body, to me, from what I understand, is like a block of Swiss cheese. You got to fill in all the right nutritional gaps, and then the body will be made whole. Right. And so I look at it from that standpoint. And so that's what this cleanse was, where we wanted to do 14 days of just getting in a high complex fiber mixture, that's going to allow us, and it's a herbal mixture that my wife has, that we wanted to get heavy metals and parasites out. And, with doing that, just doing that at our level, we've seen a lot of people get a lot of results. I'm looking around the ministry. I'm seeing folks down 20 pounds, 25 pounds, 14 pounds. It's good. And even more so, Mike, I'm down from 230. I weighed in the other day at 189.6.
Wow.
And so, yeah, man. So I'm going, I'm not a vegetarian. I'm not vegan. I don't have a name for it. I'm just striving for optimal, maximal health. I want to have my temple be exactly what the Most High Yah intended for me to have, so I can have enough energy to be a warrior, enough energy to show my sons how to be warriors, show people that they can achieve good health, that they would just quit being lazy and quit believing the lies and just get out and do it, man. So that's just the sum of it. So, it's more science to it, but if you want that, I can get that to you. But
yeah, if you could talk a little about Trilogy Sports and Fitness, and then talk a little bit about the Trilogy app. All right.
Yes, sir. Well, what Trilogy Sports and Fitness is, we are a fitness, a general, or what we call complete fitness, and a sports performance company. And so what complete fitness is where we do wellness programs, we do strength, endurance, and weight management, for adults and children. And then our sports performance program is where, we engage in high level performance training where we work on speed development, fast twitch muscle development. We work on explosive movement efficiency, just overall building a complete athlete through nutrition and, the next level in innovation when it comes to training. And so I've worked and participated in NFL combine training. In fact, one of my big clients that of recent was Shane Ray, that got drafted in first round by the Denver Broncos. I've trained Brandon Lloyd, Delvin Joyce. He played with the New York Giants. I can go on. There's a few guys that we've been a part of the process.
Right.
And we talking about that's what Trilogy is. And so we've developed the Trilogy app, Mike, because of this reason. A lot of people, I used to go different places and train people, and I try to lead them with handouts and packets and things that would, allow them to follow my style of training, or follow, my type of program that I use. But I don't have to do that anymore because we have the virtual 3D layout of, what exercises we want our clients to do. And it depends on what level that you come in, where we have the basic health plan, we have the gold health plan, the platinum, and then we have the VIP. And the platinum and the VIP is where we get down really, really close. Like VIP, then you're going to receive a visit, somewhere along your process, from Trilogy to make sure you're doing exactly what we want you to do in terms of the nutrition. I'm going to spend some time with you in the gym, or someone from Trilogy is going to come out. The base level is just really getting you everything at your fingertips so that you can do it, you can participate in it and be a part. But the idea behind the Trilogy app is this is the simplex version of it, Mike. It's to help people that really don't know what to do, know how to do, and really don't have a pathway to walk on when it comes to becoming a complete person in the value of health and wellness. This is to give you a pathway. If you would just follow it, if you would tune in like this Sunday, I have a small intimate session going on with some of my clients over Skype, where we're going to talk about some hard issues. I'm going to go over the app grades them out in terms of where they are, in terms of how they're skipping workouts or how you're skipping nutrition. And that's where I really lay into the tail. I lay into them, and really, become a motivating force, because I like to get in their tail, brother. That's what I do. I do it in the gym.
And that's good, because like even me, I've studied, weightlifting and staying in shape and stuff like that. And like I said, there's a lot of noise out there regarding, hey, what to eat, how to exercise, what to do. You need to do this, you need to do that, you need the other. So that's awesome to have just a one-stop shop right there on your phone that could guide you on diet, on just the lifestyle, how to operate to get yourself in shape. Because like you said, there's a lot of fad stuff, a lot of stuff they got an agenda for whatever reason. And me, I'm about footwork, and the footwork's right there. Because tell them I'm going to pull up your Facebook page where you got a bunch of pictures. You can go on Pastor Corey's Facebook page and the Trilogy page, and there's a lot of information. So it's not like there's just some dude doing something. He got footwork behind what he's doing. So go ahead. I'll hand it back over to you.
Yes, sir. Well, if you like you said, if you go out to our Facebook page, you'll see tips, there. You'll see videos. If you go to the videos, you can see the difference in how we deal with complete fitness clients versus how we deal with athletes. But the main thing that I think that separates us from everybody else is that we give people real information. When you look at some of the reviews and comments that people have left on our Facebook page, you're going to always see that people say that, hey, those people over at Trilogy are very knowledgeable about what they're talking about. See, if you don't know what you want, then there's really no way for you to be helped. If you know what you want, then I think we can help you really get 100% of the way to where you're trying to go. And it's not like you can't be helped if you don't know where you need to go. But my point is, it's hard for some people to achieve a certain goal when it comes down to losing weight or achieving a nutritional goal or achieving some type of strength or physique goal, because you're not motivated by anything. The rest of your life is in shambles. So the least of things that's going to happen is that you're going to get results in the gym, because you're not going to buy into the things that work, that we give, that we bring, but it's not going to benefit you because you don't buy into any other aspects of your life.
Right. So real fast, Corey, if you could tell them your the website, so that the web address, so they can go to it if they're interested.
Yes, sir. Our website is www.trilogyexplosion.com. That's TRILOGYEXPLOSION.com. And when you go to our page, you'll see Trilogy app is the first clickable item right there in the banner at the top. Says Trilogy app. And if you go there, what I would like you all to do is go there, and there's a place to fill out for a 14-day free trial. We're going to let you try out the Corvette for 14 days. And what we mean by the Corvette, you have, the top level programs where we want you to just kind of experience what it's like to, work with an online coach, what it's like to experience the nutritional aspect of it, what it's like to deal with the check-ins that we have for our clients that's online, and then even going through the fitness programming, what it feels like to be pushed and taken into a serious program for 2 weeks. Because what you're going to find out, if you go for 2 weeks, then you're going to want to keep going, whether it's with us or you're going to want to do something.
Right.
So, but that's our goal. Whether you start with us or not, it's just at least let you experience what it's like to get moving again.
Now, all right. So for the people who are interested in the fellowship, Straitway KC, talk a little bit about, I guess people come from the area also, not just locally, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And then also talk about what they need to do if they're interested in coming out, fellowshipping with y'all, what they need to do.
Absolutely. Well, what we try to do is have, we have a process, Brother Mike, that we take people through when they come to Straitway, Kansas City, just like all the communities, you'll find out. But if you're someone that's trying to get in touch with the ministry and you want to know how to find us, you definitely want to call the dining hall and leave a message, in the dining hall that you would like to get in touch with someone.
And just so y'all know, the dining hall number is right there in the description on this video. It says to find a fellowship near you or something to that extent. So that's a dining hall number that Pastor Corey's talking about. Go ahead, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So you definitely want to get in touch with them. Down in the dining hall, if you're someone that's far and, not too close. We also have just a generic office number that people can call and get questions answered, that we kind of utilize to just get basic questions answered once they get in touch with us. This is the number that we give out, and I'll give that out right now. Then I'll continue talking about the process. But the number is 816 816-656-7131. Again, that's 816-656-7131. That's the local number that we have. So once we make contact with you, that's the number that we'll give you, that we, rather have you contact, so that first of all, we can have a sit down with you before you come, because, just like you, are you going to invite a stranger off the street to your house? So we don't want to invite people off the street to our land, bringing spirits or bringing anything that's unwanted, contention on the land. We want to keep, our, the sisters and the children, at peace and doing what we do, serving the Most High Yah. So most of the time, what we do is meet people out for lunch, meet them out for dinner. We'll invite you out to a men's sit down, or we'll invite you out to a women's sit down and have prayer, deliverance, and, talk about what we believe, talk about what you believe, and, see if it's a commonality, see if you even belong, and if we don't find that there's a commonality, off the top, then what we'll do is have you go watch a few Shabbat services. And you can sit through the yelling and the screaming of Pastor Dow, then you our kind of people.
Yeah. If you got an appetite for truth, you know what I'm saying?
That's it.
You got that appetite for truth. That's facts. Because hey, a lot of people be out there, man. They say they talk a good game, but then let's speak on this a little bit, Court. Talk about that action, that footwork, man. About, because we've seen it, man. A lot of people talk a good game. I've watched a lot of your videos. I see you right where I'm at, where, hey, it's about that action. Speak on that a little bit.
Yes, sir. The thing about Brother Mike being in the community is this: you're gonna be pressed, and I'm all about pressing you, because that's the example that's set before us. But any man, if you're a man, first and foremost, you got to be about what you say, and what you say is what you got to do. And so, that's what I look for in people. Pastor Dow has a saying that says, "A new broom sweep good at first." When I heard that saying, I fell over laughing, because you'll find out, and just through the years that we've been, being in the process of being a community, and coming out of her more and more, we've had a lot of characters, Mike. And I'm gonna tell you what you talking about being a part of action. See, I'm gonna say this real quick. When we first started out, saying that everybody was saying they was Israelites, and you with GOCC, this and that, and we was about watching Pastor Dow, where people want to bring in different doctrines or catch people outside and have side conversations with them. I've seen a lot of people, man, get scattered because of those things. And so we learned, brother, you can't come here. We don't even want you to come in bringing nothing. We don't even want to deal with you. And if you ain't on the same page, guess what? I ain't losing no sleep. I done sent a lot of people out these doors, brother Mike, and ain't look back, ain't asked no question, ain't checked on you, ain't worried about you checking on me, and it's good. It don't matter. You know what I mean? Guess what? Water under the bridge.
Right.
And that's how you got to be, because really people wasting time. Because
man, that's all I be talking about, man. Corey he be speaking what I be thinking, man. People will waste your time, boy.
They waste it.
They waste your time like it matter, like yeah. But hey, hey man, I've learned that, man. You gotta be brutal with your time. Yeah, man.
Got to be brutal. Yeah. Got to be brutal, brother Mike. Here's what I like that you've done, and you done it from the time that I saw you. You when I was sitting next to you at the H2N conference. Every segment that we had, every breakout session that we were going, I watched you become more and more boisterous. You know what I mean? You begin to lay in and speak up for things that you saw that immediately that you was able to point out about what we were doing as a ministry. And this ain't about bandwagoning. It's truth. How are you gonna continue to be set apart if you don't come out and do what we're doing? See, one of the main reasons why I'm able to stay on my nutrition plan and stay eating clean and stay focused and set apart, because guess what? There's rebuke here. There's reproofing. There's correction going on. You know I'm constantly running my mouth. I know there's some people that's tired of me running my mouth. And I know it's people tired of me wearing them out about the same thing. But I'm not going to stop, because that's what's right in the sight of the Most High Yah. He loved right action and right ruling.
Right.
You know? And so that's what being set apart is. And you got to understand, everybody ain't going to want to do it. The biggest thing I found, Mike, is that people don't want their rug raised up. They want you to see them surface wise, but they don't want their rug raised up.
Hey,
under there.
Y'all put a 100 up in there. If y'all getting that, put a 100 up in that.
That's it. The exposing, brother. The exposing of who people are is the biggest thing why people run from community, brother.
That's facts, man. Big old facts 100, man. I'm telling you, man. Transparency, man. That's what we be talking about is being transparent. But yeah, Brother Coy, man, I'm gonna have you on here a lot more, because I can already see by the comments and by the response that this is gonna be another blessing to the saints. This is a real edifying interview, and like I said, as Corey, he's doing a lot of things, and I told him at each time that there's something happens, come on the show, man. Let's keep Israel informed, keep them engaged and connected with what's going on. Did you have anything else, Brother Court?
Well, the last things I'm gonna say, I just want everybody to be on the lookout. Ministry wise, just be on the lookout, man, for what is arising in the spirit realm here in the Straitway Ministries, man. It's amazing. I think, because it's all intertwined. The Most High Yah is sending the right people here, and the right people are connecting and doing things behind the scene that's going to really benefit the welfare of those who are coming out of her. And that coming out means that we're going to see a change in financial availability. We're gonna see a change in the type of communities that we're going to be able to be a part of. The level of Holy Spirit that's going to be at these places that we're seeing, because the evil is being thrusted out, and more people who are coming in who Yah have preserved and has yet preserved, they're going to be coming in. You can go back and check some of the blog talks from three years ago. We were talking about how people were going to be waking up in the camps where they were at, and they were going to see us here for who we were, and they were going to come and be a part of the move of Yah, and them themselves were chosen by Yah was also going to be, people that were going to be added to the great thing that the Most High Yah is doing. So, I'm just saying I'm saying it plain. This ain't a prophecy. This ain't, I'm just giving you all some empowerment to look forward to, because there's a lot of things that's going on behind the scenes that people don't understand. But, I ain't, in position to broadcast what's going on. I'm just in position to share it as the Most High give it when it's time to give it, brother. And I'm happy that I'm here. I'm happy that you here, and I bless each and every one of you. And y'all continue to lift up our shepherd, Pastor Charles Dial, and all of Israel that's scattered in the four corners, because our season is coming upon us, and the time shall be here when we shall be gathered out into the place, where the Most High Yah is going to give us rest from all our enemies. And so appreciate you, Brother Mike, and all Israel. Shalom, shalom.
All right, and one more thing. So, hold on one sec. There we go. Okay. So, with Sister Gabby, if people want to help out, I know you say you have I forget them things it's called. I know Corey has sent something to it.
Baby registry.
Yeah. So, how do they? Is that on your Facebook page or?
It's somewhere down the timeline, and it's on her page. If some of you all, Sister Ida, or one of you all can get it and post it in the comments here, and then even Brother Mike, if you want to go back and leave it on this video,
yeah, I'm gonna put it up there.
Well
real quick.
appreciated.
And if you could, while I'm getting that up there, just talk a little bit on how she's doing and how the baby's doing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This young lion here, Brother Mike, was the smallest one of all of them, man. We done been up to 11 pounds, and we, the lowest we've been was high 7s, but this young guy was 6 pounds, 4 ounces. And, everything was good, man. Just like we expected it to be, she is doing well, still in the recovery phase right now. So the sisters here on the land and that's here in the congregation are doing well by, getting out, doing the things that we do here with our purification process. And in fact, Brother Mike, Sister Gabby did something that she discovered was a Hebrew custom with a part of the recovery process where she soaked in these herbs, man. And out of all the pregnancies, I can truly say it worked.
Wow.
Because it was a big difference, because usually, she can't walk after these, after these births, man. And, she's, looking a lot more strengthened. The blood flow is totally different this time. And she's going to do some videos on these, just talking about it. She's also going to share what it means to go through not only postpartum, but the time of purification, because there's a lot of misconceptions out there about purification, a lot of things that are misunderstood. And she just has done her diligence in researching a lot of similar cultures and things that's going to help out a lot of houses, man, on how to do this thing.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, Pastor Corey, it's awesome having you on. Like I said, you're going to see Pastor Corey on here. He'll be on here on the reg. He's going to keep us updated on what's going on. And I love what the brother's doing. He's a triple threat, mind, body, soul. You know what I'm saying? He trying to help you truly get it right. You know what I'm saying? He ain't like Pastor Cupcake out there shaking you down for money, and he don't care what you look like and how you're feeling. Pastor Corey's in this thing for real. So Pastor Corey, I appreciate you coming on the show. Definitely appreciate you coming on. So yeah, y'all.
Absolutely.
All right. So yeah, that's Pastor Corey, y'all. Appreciate him coming on. I might be on live later on. I got some other, I'm going to be doing a lesson. I might do it Shabbat. It's going to be a good lesson regarding marriage and stuff like that. So I'll be on bringing that out. But anyway, with that said, y'all, I'm going to take the show out with the song I brought it in with. It's PZ and his wife. The song is Me and the Most High. So appreciate y'all tuning in. Shalom, shalom.
Me and the Most High. Me and the Most High. Yeah, me and the Most High. I'm so low. My walk on that road is me and the Most High. I'm so low. My walk on that road is me and the Most High. Me and the Most High. Me and the Most High. art in heaven. What it take to keep you from them? Just a little leaven. Spread the gospel through the hood, doing it through rapping. Feel just like me and God trapping souls, bringing the truth to the people, telling what they never been told. You sitting on gifts you were giving and doing nothing with them. I swear that you niggas is bold. It's bad that you know. I know that some of you think that I'm playing with completion. I'm not. I'm ready to drop. Been whipping the work in the studio, serving it out to the block. Tried to live life on my own and I found that it's not what I thought. A place to a higher, but Hashem, you shy of my soul. Not for sale, it was already booked. I'm ready for y'all to stop trying to stop easy, trying to say he's wicked when really he not. It's really a plot, but you to wait you in the dark to try to come take what you got. Woo, listen, the truth hit hard, harder than a gamble. Better be known as a saint. Then your favorite rapper, Michael Jackson band. No melodrama, random, but it's still just me and the Most High. Me and the Most High. Me and the Most High. Yeah, me and the Most High. Yeah, me and the Most High. Me and the Most High. Me and the Most High. Yeah, me and the Most High. Me and the Most High.